Special day for me, mostly because today is my very last day with you guys. I've been for 12 weeks coming to observe you. I've learned so much from you guys, and you all have been really, really amazing. But today is my last day here, okay? So thank you very much before I start the lesson, because you guys have been really, really great to me, and I have learned so much from you guys, okay? So before we start, there's a couple of classroom rules that I want to go through before we start. So if you need to use the restroom, you can just go ahead and use it. If you need to get some water, you can go ahead and get water. But if you know the answer to any question, or if you need something, just raise your hand and I'm gonna come to you, okay? Do we all understand that?
Yeah.
All right, great. So today we are going to talk about a very special day. Can somebody tell me what did we celebrate on April 22nd? Unita? Earth Day, great. So can somebody else tell me why is Earth Day important, or why do we celebrate Earth Day? One.
Because you need to save the planet.
Exactly. And why do we need to save the planet, guys?
So it can be clean.
So it can be clean. That's a good one. Raise your hand. Anaya?
So we could live.
So we could live here. Leo?
So we can be alive.
So we can be alive. That is, those are all correct answers. Those are all very good, Katie.
So we can pick up trash.
So we can pick up trash. Yes, that's one of the reasons that we celebrate Earth Day. There's actually a couple of fun facts about Earth Day. It was created in 1970. And we celebrate that day. Over 192 countries around the world come together, and they have to come up with ideas on how to save the planet. And how can we save the planet, guys? So you said, Mario? Picking up trash. That's a good one. Can somebody give me another one? You need that? Saving animals. Anaya?
Saving the earth.
Saving the earth. Yes, those are all correct. Katie, go ahead. Saving the penguins. Yes, that's a good one too. So that's one of the reasons that Earth Day was celebrated, because people wanted to come together and come up with ideas to save the environment or the habitat of some animals. Because we have a huge problem going on the planet. Our planet is warming up. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, that's bad.
It is bad. Can somebody tell me why is it bad? Mario.
Because if we have lots and lots of sun, we're gonna burn.
Yes, we are going to burn if we have lots and lots of sun. And the problem that we have is that we humans are having a huge impact on the planet. We are cutting the trees and destroying the habitats of some animals. And that's a very bad thing.
Like penguins?
Like penguins, yes. Now I have this is a hard question. Does anybody know what the word habitat means? Ingrid?
That is a house.
It's a house, yes. Unita?
It's where animals live.
That's where animals live. Angelina?
It's where they stay at.
Yes, a habitat is the place. A habitat is the home of an animal or a plant. So it can be a forest. A forest can be a habitat for any type of animal. A desert can also be a habitat. And in our planet, we have a huge problem going on right now. We humans are cutting down the trees, and some animals don't have any space to live. Yes, Katie?
People cut the
The great panda trees, yes, they are also endangered. Does anybody know what the word endangered means? Joshua. Someone's hurt. Yeah, that's a good one. Juan?
Because there's a little bit of more of them.
That's a good one too. Mario? Anaya, can you help Mario? Yes, so endangered species means that there are very little of them left in the world. There's some animals, I was reading yesterday about some leopards. Do you know what leopards are? The big cats? There is a specific species of these animals. There are only 60 left in the world. That's counting the ones in the zoos. So that's one of the things that is happening right now around the world. So many animals are in danger because we are destroying the habitat. One of the animals that are suffering the most, two animals actually, that are suffering the most right now are these two right here. The polar bears and the penguins. Does anybody have any idea why these animals are endangered? Joshua?
The eyes are melting.
The ice is melting. That's a good, Katie.
The killer bears wants to eat them.
That, yes, that's also true, Maria.
Because the sun is too hot and the ice would burn.
Yes, so what's happening right now, I'm going to show you. Just give me 1 second. So this is what's actually happening right now with these two animals, guys. So up here we have the North Pole, and down here we have the South Pole. The polar bears live up here, where Santa Claus lives, and the penguins live down here, at the very bottom of the planet. So what's happening is that we are warming up the planet, and all this heat is going towards the North and the South Pole. And the ice is melting. And some areas where these animals live have completely disappeared. And scientists believe that these ice caps, or the ice where these animals live, are going to disappear completely during the next 100 years. So the biggest problem that we have right now is that these animals don't have a house anymore. They're losing their house, and now what they're doing is they're coming closest to they're coming closer to cities. And they have gone, have you guys ever seen when you, like around town, when you see all these stray cats or stray dogs, that they're like going through the garbage trying to find food?
Yeah.
So the same thing is going on with these two animals. So that's the reason that we celebrate Earth Day, because we have to come together and find out ways to save the planet. Now, one of the most, okay, before we go ahead and we come up with ideas to save the planet, does anybody know what the word recycle means? Angelina?
It means you use stuff and you use it again.
Exactly. That means to reuse things. Mario?
If you take a trash and you put it in a recycling bin, and then you can use it again and again.
And again and again. Hi, Nicholas. How are you? So yes, that's exactly what the word recycle means. Recycle means that you take something that you already have and you give it a different use, or you can use it over and over again. Can somebody give me an example of one thing that we can recycle? Katie?
Bottle?
Bottles of, yeah, plastic bottles. Jermaine? Paper, yes. Ingrid?
Cans?
Cans, yes. Mario?
Newspaper?
Newspapers. Unita? Sorry, Anaya?
Plastic bottle?
Plastic bottles. Keisha, can you help her? I see your hand is up. They already said them all, right? Angelina?
Bottle caps?
Yes, bottle caps. So
more
basically,
things.
we can reuse all stuff. And here is
Cool.
one idea. There's a cool idea of how to recycle. These are, do you know what these are? Sebastian?
They're bird houses.
No.
They look like bird. You can actually build a birdhouse with a soda bottle. But what are these, guys? Ingrid? These are plants. So people have used this like plant pots. You can see how they make holes and they put soil in it, and they are growing new plants.
What were they? I'm sorry. What were they? Yes, there's plants, but what were they? You didn't. Did anybody say what they were? Can you see them? Can anyone tell what that is? You guys can't see that?
No. I can see it.
What is it, Katie? They're old soda bottles. You see that? That's cool. They cut them on the side and they built. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now we have another idea.
Oh, look at that.
The classroom. So this was like a milk, one of those milk bottles. You've seen this before, right? Like the milk bottles that we keep at home. So we literally just, they cut them in two, and now this is a good place to keep crayons. And this is what the word recycling stands for, is to reuse things so that we don't have to. The problem is that if we don't reuse these things, they take them, we throw them in the trash, and they take them to a landfill. You guys know what a landfill is, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay, great. So the problem with the landfills is that these things take thousands of years to actually decompose. And these things actually hurt the habitat of some animals. Some animals get stuck in these bottles and they die. So it's better if we reuse them. That way we don't have to create more, but still keep the same. Katie,
Why I was stuck in the phone?
what was that?
In the book I said why I was stuck in the phone.
Oh, really? Cool. So these are 5 ways to take care of the environment. The first one is turn off anything that uses electricity when not in use. If you're watching TV and you have to do something for your mom, or you have to do homework, and somebody tell me which is the wise thing to do if you're not watching TV? Mario.
Turn off the TV.
Turn off the TV. What about the lights, the bedroom lights?
Turn off the light to
Yeah.
waste the energy.
Exactly, yes. So that's one of the things that we can do in order to help the environment. The other way to help the environment is recycle as much as you can.
Interruption, test administrators at this time, please get the students that are on your testing roster. and
All right, so
bring them to
that
their testing location.
recycle as much as we can. We already talked about that. Conserve the water. Water is very, very precious. I don't know if you guys know, but when you look at the planet, can you all look at the world that we have in the back? As you can see, all the blue parts of that map stand for water. Over 70% of the planet is liquid water. But there's only one, we have a huge problem. Because out of that 70%, we can only drink 3% of that water. Only 3% of that water is fresh water. And most of that fresh water is in the poles, up in the North Pole and the South Pole. And do you guys remember what I told you about the poles? What's happening to the poles? That was a good, raise your hand next time. Yes, Unita?
The ice is turning with the water.
Yes, the ice is melting. And all this ice, all this fresh water is going to the ocean. So it's going to waste. So we only have a limited amount of liquid water that we can actually drink. And in so many cases, we litter around these rivers or lakes, and this water is becoming contaminated. So that's one of the reasons that we have to learn how to conserve water. Plant a tree. Trees are very, very important. Can somebody tell me why are trees important? Anaya?
Because animals could live there now.
That's a good one. Katie?
So animals can live on the trees?
Yeah, so animals can live in the trees so that we can create a bigger habitat for animals. Mario?
To not they get extinct?
Yes, to create a bigger habitat for the animals. What about, do trees give us food?
No. Yes, yes, yes.
You don't get food from trees?
Yes.
What about bananas? What about oranges?
Yes.
Apples? So yeah, another thing that they do is that trees create oxygen. And oxygen is very, very important for us because we can breathe fresh air. And the last one is use both sides of the paper. So whenever you're doing homework or whenever you're writing, it's very important to use both sides of the paper, mostly because, does anybody know how do we make paper? Where do we get paper from? Are you guys the only ones to know the answer to this? Diego?
From trees.
From trees. Yes, we have to cut down trees in order to create more paper. So that's the reason that we encourage you guys to recycle paper, because that way we don't have to cut down any trees. So we can just reuse it over and over. Yes, Anita? the wood comes from the trees, right?